Hello everyone. I recently received my Kenwood 9903s, installed it, and so far am enjoying it, and I would like to give a small review of what I think, some of the quirks, some of the things I really like, a little bit of everything. So here you can see how quick it turns on.
Ryan Seacrest.
You do get prompted with this message every single time it turns on, so I'm not entirely sure if you can get rid of that, but it's a little frustrating when you're trying to back up right away and stuff. But I apologize for the glare. We'll start out by looking at the home screen. That can be accessed by hitting the home button right here. As you might notice, you can change the colors of these LEDs. Right now I have it set up to automatically rotate. I didn't find a color that I particularly liked more than anything else. So from the home screen, you can see the radio station I'm on, the time, the date, but you have 3 tabs. It gives you a little EQ with the clock, or it gives you a position of which way you're facing. I didn't set up my GPS unit that it came with correctly, so I believe that has never updated, which is okay. I have one in my rear view mirror, so that's what I'd use if I need it for anything. Alright, let's jump into the most obvious one, HD radio. This is the screen that you'll see every time you open up HD radio. I have the station's artwork or a album cover that will update depending on if the station does it. You have the station up there, you have the name of the station, and some other info. Here's my presets, which you can expand out, and then you can see the HD. This one's not HD, and you can have up to, I think, 15. From this menu, from this screen, you can see the little HD icon up to the top. It'll come in once the signal becomes HD. For example, there, just became HD. And we might see this icon switch from 102 Edge to the album art. From here you can see my EQ. I just chose the Pops EQ. There's 13 bands that you can play with and change however you want. I just was in the preset and I chose Pop because it sounded the best. The controls on the steering wheel work pretty well. This was not a perfect custom match over, but like my 1 to 6 button used to be my station select. I could go through the stations. Doesn't work. I have volume up and down. That works. I changed my up and down arrows to change stations. That works nice. And then I have my mute button, and I have a switch. It switches so it'll go to like a different, if I had Sirius installed, you go to the Sirius menu, hit it again, it goes to the Bluetooth, hit it again, it goes to HDMI, etc. It's kind of like alt-tabbing in a computer. That gives you a brief overview of what the actual HD radio does. I go back to home. Mirroring is where you connect Android Auto, or you have like a Chromecast or some type of display driven by a phone or a external unit. In Bluetooth, you just connect to your phone. From the home screen, we can also dive into our more settings options. And we can preset these however we want, whichever one we use the most. You just hold down and move it around, and if you want to use HDMI a lot or Sirius a lot, you can move that up and become a top 3 priority, a favorite list. You got USB in, AV in, audio, standby. This is for some of the fancier stuff that take some Maestro, some other third-party software, which is not compatible with my car. And parking backup. Sorry for the blurriness. From here you can see our settings. Let's go into display. You can sync your clock and your dimmer with the lights in the car, so when my sensor says there's not enough light outside, this will become a little dimmer so that it won't be blinding at night. I can change the panel color, background, whatever I would like. You can use a custom image. You can sync the camera up with GPS. Haven't got that to work. I think there's a bug with this unit, and Kenwood is working on it from what I've read. If we dive into camera, we can have it so that when I go into reverse, the camera will automatically switch and go up onto my display. I can turn on guidelines, which I can then go edit, which is kind of cool. I can move these points around. I haven't messed with that yet, but it works. I have a front camera, which I have not installed, but I have the wires already routed. And then you can have mirrored image for front, because rear view cameras naturally reverse the image so you can see audio. Equalizer is what you've seen, where you can do your presets, or you can choose your each band plus or minus -9 dB. Position, it's kind of cool. You can say, hey, I'm sitting in the front left. It'll orientate the levels of how much volume each speaker gets accordingly, so you can customize it completely how you like. The fader balance is the same, but more, I don't know what the difference between fader balance is and position data. Volume offset is if you want to hear certain things at different volumes. Like my phone was naturally quieter than the radio, then I could set that so once it starts playing, it would already have the volume affected. This I think is more figuring out, I'm not sure, I've never messed with this. Bass boost, supreme, I've never used this either. There's a ton of settings that you can play around with. Since I am on Android, will be the first time I use my old iPhone for CarPlay. Plug it in real quick. CarPlay comes up on the phone. And just like that, I'm into Apple CarPlay, where I can go into Maps. And I can not pinch to zoom, but I can change, can't rotate, but I don't know, I don't like Apple Maps. What else can I do? Never used Apple CarPlay. Got music. I don't think I have music on this phone. No, I do not. Audiobooks, phone, now playing, maps, home. I think I got messages.
To whom should I...
That's Apple CarPlay in a very, very quick nutshell. Alright, this is now taking video of my new phone. And this is what it looks like when you plug it in and go into Android Auto. As you can see, I have a new icon down here, the Android Auto button. If I click that, it will launch on Android Auto. And this was the last song it looks like I was playing on Spotify. Hit the volume off. Spotify's app works pretty well, but I prefer using Bluetooth for it because it doesn't show you the full library. It only gives you a quick browse because it doesn't want you scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of songs. So there's some playlists that you can browse through: Queue, My Library, Artist Stations. And you can see some, but if I go down too far, it'll say can't scroll no more. Maybe not. Alright, so from here you got your navigation, phone, menu, music. Never used that, so I'm not entirely sure what it is. So if we go to home, we have a slightly different menu where we can see kind of the city I'm at, direction to the other closest place I went to, and our music. So I'll go into maps. And as you can see, it's Google Maps, which I like a lot better. And you can hit the mic button, Walmart. And just like that, it uses your phone, finds the closest Walmarts, and you can choose one. I don't know why I didn't choose the one that's right up the street. It did the first time, but that's not the point. My mic's up here. It comes with a head unit, and that gives you a quick idea of how Android Auto works. You can hit home, go back to your radio. You can listen to the music while you're doing navigation. I'll do Bluetooth now. So I will disconnect my phone. Bluetooth is on. My top right. I can hit Bluetooth over here. And it should start playing my song on Spotify I had open. And Bluetooth just streams it from my phone without any cable. I can skip tracks. I can do that on my steering wheel as well. Volume control. I've never actually heard this song before, but you get the idea. You have full control via your interface to go talk to your phone and get whatever song or audio source is being played on it at that moment. So I just plugged the USB drive into my USB. I'm going to launch into USB. So Family Guy. So that plays nice. Looks good. Let's see if I can fast forward. This was not downloaded in HD. This is just a regular old SD video. I have a movie which says, oh, this was surround sound. Audio format not supported. So it looks like this audio is not going to work. But the film works, and it's like 2 gigs. So it will pretty much play anything other than surround sound audio. And then here's a song that I have saved on it. And that plays just fine. I think if I had folders, I would be able to see the folders, but these are just files on the thing. So I only got 3. Last but not least, I will do a quick show you the backup camera. Again, here's your startup. So if I wanted to back up quickly, I don't think you can get rid of this message, but you gotta hit it close. Throw into reverse. It pops up. I haven't set the angles of the lines yet, but as you can see, I can go and find out exactly where I am. Throw it into park. And there's the camera. So it gives you a little idea of how close you are to the actual back of the road.